So the New Age is basically Babylon's form of spirituality. Babylon being Anglo nations like the US and the UK. And the people involved in it, it's not their own fault, it's from their own ignorance, right? Most things are. But it's a kind of spirituality that serves the self. It won't put itself in any position to be uncomfortable. It won't put itself in any position where it serves the collective in a very real way. And it likes to monetize itself. It likes to make sure that it's got its money in the bank. You know, so it's a self-serving form of spirituality. And as a lot of you know, I grew up in Christian fundamentalism. I come from a long line of priests. My grandmother was actually given the Benemeriti medal from the Pope for her devotion. And I found a lot of pain in Christian fundamentalism, as you know, and I don't agree with the way it's been taught today because we have lay people at the pulpit. We don't have actual initiates, alchemical nuns and priests, okay? So Christianity has been hijacked in a lot of ways, and it becomes problematic for the psyche in a lot of ways. But it also gave me my principles and my foundation and my moral underpinning, and I today consider myself to be a Christian nun. Although I don't teach Christianity in the way literal Christians do or fundamentalist Christians do, I teach in the way early Christians teach, in the alchemical way. But I am rooted in a tradition, and I have an elder. And this is one of the signs of a true initiate. Who's your baba? Who's your mama? Who is your elder? You ask these New Age spiritual people who initiated them. Who did they put their head down on the floor to? Who did they relinquish their ego to? Because I will say that Sophia initiated me. She is my great teacher. But the path of the goddess, the Holy Mother, her path is the path of the disciple and the guru or the teacher. And that's how you know a true initiate. And part of her quest in us is when we humble ourselves at the foot of a master, a true master. So I have many teachers in my life. One who has passed is Ubaba Credo Mutwa, but my living teacher is Father Amma Sami. He's an Indian man, and he has the most incredible life, deeply, deeply real in his innocence and his true mastery. Father Amma Sami's not thinking about how to monetize stuff, ever. And he was first a Jesuit priest, and he found many beautiful things in Catholicism, but he also found it to be problematic in a lot of ways, as I did with Christian fundamentalism. And then he found his way to Zen Buddhism, and he became a Zen Buddhist master. And he now has his ashram in India. And he helped me to reconcile my Christian tradition and Zen Buddhist practices. And his teaching is that it is much, much more beneficial for the person to be rooted in a tradition. In a tradition. Buddhism has precepts. There are precepts of morality. There's a code. There's an ethical code there. Christianity, Islam, these have ancient traditions and precepts. And of course, in today's culture and literalism, these precepts have sometimes been used to shame people and force them to follow rules. And they were never meant for that. Okay, so I'm not saying that all of these religions as they look today are in a good place. But I'm saying they are rooted in a tradition, in a lineage. And all ancient masters and teachers and lineages from wherever around the world, be that indigenous shamanic cultures as well, you have an elder. You submit yourself at the foot of an elder. And you are initiated into the energy of that lineage through the master. So most of these New Agers who obviously don't have the moral fiber to speak against genocide, none of them have elders. I've never once seen any of them acknowledge their elder. I don't know what tradition they're rooted in. I don't know where they're coming from. It's just an assemblage. So I'm going to leave it at that. Carry on with my walk.